allô. Le coq de l'école, le coq de l'école, allô, allô. Le coq de l'école, le coq de l'école, allô, allô.
What's up to Milwaukee? What's up to the whole United States? This is your boy Track Lacer. Badgers got a big game tomorrow, so trying to represent. And I'm gonna try to keep this down to about 5 minutes because when it comes to the superhero movies or TV shows, you could just keep running your mouth forever. But I'm gonna try to keep it 5 minutes. The Luke Cage series. Um, I'm gonna say first of all that the actor is real believable. Um, he just brings a certain dignity to the part. He brings a certain amount of just believability. Like you really would believe that this is really just a muscular, bald head dude in Harlem with a hoodie on, fighting crime. And even specifically the way he fights crime, it really isn't in a regular superhero fashion. Even with Daredevil, a lot of his scenes, it's a whole lot of fighting, it's a whole lot of acrobatics, it's a whole lot of being able to see something coming that he shouldn't see because he's blind. Um, it's really weird when you watch this because it doesn't really feel really Marvel like. You know, um, it isn't until like the last episode where there's even something that happens that reminds you of a typical villain and hero like you would see on cartoons or in the comic books. I don't read the comics as much, so I can't speak to the fact if they really representing Luke Cage properly how he is on the comics. There is one funny moment, and I'll spoil it, but there's one funny moment where he actually has the old school yellow shirt and the wristbands and the headband, but they kind of basically mock the way that it would look silly, but you'll get a kick out of it when you see it. It's real brief. I'm gonna say, oddly enough, one of the best things about this Luke Cage series is the villain, and the villain is just like the boss, like the kingpin over there in Harlem, and the man is just so believable. Um, I would even argue that just slightly you could put Kingpin from the Daredevil series just slightly ahead of him, but it's close. It's a close number two. And then those two villains are like the best Marvel villains to me, man. Loki can't mess with these two dudes. Ultron, the talking robot. You know, Marvel kind of makes most of their heroes just kind of, I mean, they villains just kind of like whatever. But man, this dude, I mean, he was more interesting than Luke Cage. Like it was kind of crazy, but I felt the same way about Kingpin and Daredevil. I felt like what is his name, Fisk or whatever the Kingpin's real name is. A lot of times he's more interesting than Daredevil. So I think that's crazy. Um, for all of you who love hip hop, you really gonna love it because every episode is titled after a Gangstar song. Rest in peace to Guru, who passed away about 3 years ago. But that was a real cool nod. Um, Everything looks like, I mean, it's just 100% Harlem. If any of y'all that's looking at this have never been to Harlem before, It's just like getting on a plane and going there with the way that they shot this. Is very neighborhood like. The other thing about this that I think that you would like is there's a lot of messages, positive messages about black empowerment, about problems in our community that they kind of slip in there without beating you over the head with it. There was 13 episodes, so I started at 3:30 in the morning, and I had to get a little bit of sleep, but I got all the way through it. Right now, I must say that the first Daredevil season is still better. I like Luke Cage better than the second Daredevil season, and I like this Luke Cage better than Jessica Jones in that series too. So now it's supposed to be Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and some dude I don't know anything about named Iron Fist, all coming together for another Netflix series called The Defenders. So I don't know how that's gonna go over, but trust me when I tell you that when you see this, you will come away with a lot of respect for the cat that actually played Luke Cage. But the villain, man, the villain is gonna just blow you away. Like, dude, it's just straight up outstanding, man. So, um, let's see. If I had to give season number one on a scale of 10, I'll probably have to give it an 8.5. And the first like 4 or 5 episodes you see like straight nines, straight 9.5, straight tens. But I think that they try to mix things up and throw some other villains in there, and the other villains just didn't match up to the original villain. Man, it's just no comparison. So, uh, they tried to make that the other villains they threw in there as interesting as the first one, and they just couldn't do it. So that's what would take it away. But if they would have figured out a way to just stay focused on the first villain that they focused on, I think the show would be like nines and tens all the way through each episode. But I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Highly recommend it. Hey, I done went 2 minutes over the 5 minutes I said I was gonna do to review this, but man, salute to Marvel, man. I mean, I just think it's a shame that Marvel can do TV better than DC can do movies. I'm hoping that DC bounce back with the Justice League and kind of get it back. But man, so far with Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman, they just don't seem like they can catch up to what Marvel is doing. Salute. It's your boy Track Lacer. I'm out of here.